The cat that tried to get in for 7 years has died at a museum in Japan. Hi, I'm Antonio García Villarán, and in this video, I'm here to tell you about something very important that happened in the art world, and it's that a Japanese black cat tried to get into a contemporary art museum for 7 years and didn't make it. And that's despite trying day after day after day. And you'll say, well, Antonio, what are you telling me? What are you? Well, this whole story, which is much more complicated than you might think, is also a metaphor for what's happening today with contemporary art. And I'm gonna tell you about it right here. This isn't just the story of Ken-Chan. Ken-Chan, who is the wonderful, adorable little black cat who passed away very recently. And we're gonna see throughout the video everything he did to try to get into the museum to see an exhibition. And just listen to what I'm about to tell you. In 2016, at that Japanese museum, there was an exhibition about cats, and look what happened. A black cat shows up and tries to enter the museum. Why? Well, we don't know. Maybe he sensed that the exhibition interested him, or because he saw some cat figures and said, well, they're having a party here. I wasn't invited. I'm gonna try to get in. Well, for whatever reason, he tried to get in. The museum doors opened, and there appeared the evil guard. Well, the evil guard, a security guard, who was in uniform, wearing white gloves, and of course, seeing the cat enter, well, I guess, right? That in Japan, they don't allow animals in museums. So very kindly, the man started shooing him away like this. Come on, kitty, you can't be here, you can't be here. And what happened? Well, that was repeated day after day after day, and the cameras caught it, they uploaded it to social media, and it went viral. But why did it go viral? Because, of course, they put it on TikTok, they put it on Facebook, they put it on YouTube, on all these social networks, and people already love the cat. They love the cat, and they also started to love the guard. Because, of course, the guard didn't just kick the cat out like, come on, get out. No, he treated him very well, and in fact, the cat came from a nearby restaurant. So the cat supposedly had an owner, but the guard, whose name is Sadao Umayahara, every time the kitty tried to get in, well, of course, he stopped them kindly, and all this turned into a kind of conceptual art performance. Conceptual. Anyway, people on social media were already waiting for the video, where the security guard kicked the cat out every day. And all this has a lot to do with the lives of contemporary artists, which later, at the end of the video, I'll tell you all about it. But wait, because in 2017, a second cat appeared, an orange-yellow cat that joined Ken-Chan in trying to get into the museum. This orange-yellow cat was named Go-chan. And of course, they both tried to get in, and once again, the guard, very kindly with his white gloves, would turn them away. No, you can't come in here, you can't come in. But pay attention to what happened, because here, the story took a turn. And well, I think that Ken-Chan, tired of going alone, probably told Go-chan, hey, come with me, let's see if the two of us can get in. Maybe they won't let just one in, it has to be two. So then the two of them went day after day after day, they were kicked out. But one of those days, the cat managed to get in. But not Ken-Chan, not the black cat, the other one, I mean, the orange-yellow cat. I mean, Go-chan, one of those times, managed to slip past the guard at the door and enter the museum. So he did, and yet Ken-Chan, the black cat, never made it, as I've already said. I mean, just imagine the look on Ken-Chan's face when he saw his little friend who had just arrived walk right into the museum. Well, that must have been quite a sight. But it didn't end there, because in 2019, Go-chan, I mean the orange-yellow cat, was adopted. He was adopted. However, Ken-Chan, well, who supposedly lived at a restaurant or was around there or ate leftovers, who knows, was never adopted. It's true that the guard tried to adopt him, but in the end, he died first. But of course, you might wonder, well, Antonio, what was in the museum that made the cats try to get in every day? Was it, I don't know, wonderful works by artists? I don't know. Was there Velázquez? Was there Murillo? Was there Valdez Leal? Was there Artemisia Gentileschi? Were there sculptures by Michelangelo? No, 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 not at all, not at all. The museum, which is called the Onomichi City Museum of Art, opened in 1980 and was renovated by Tadao Ando in 2003. What it has are mainly works by local artists, that is, exhibitions by artists who do ukiyo-e or by artists who are known around that area. Sure, there's some Georges Rouault, but there are no works by Picasso, no works by Goya, for example. No. It's a museum. I won't say minor, but it's a local museum. Anyway, in 2022, the museum publicly announced that our beloved protagonist, that wonderful black cat, well, he passed away. He passed away without ever getting in. But the image resonated so much, the message resonated so much, that the museum made a lot of merchandise. Well, a ton. The merchandise even sold out, and they announced that a sculpture would be made in tribute to, well, to the cat that never made it. But anyway, you might wonder, what's the metaphor for the contemporary artist? What does this story about the cat that couldn't get in mean? Well, it's quite simple luck. There are artists who are very good, who want to get into institutions, museums, galleries, who want to exhibit their work, who try over and over again, time and again, day after day, working, giving it their all, just like Ken-Chan, the black cat. However, there are others who arrive like Go-chan, the orange-yellow cat, who do it time and again. They have sponsors, or who knows, they have a lucky star or something, and they manage on the first, second, or third try to enter that circuit that's supposedly so wonderful. Because we have something very important to say here, and that is, of course, imagine that the black cat, meaning the contemporary artist, manages to enter that circuit they long for so much. And what do they find in the end? Great works of art? Great ones? No. A local museum, that is. Something very small. What I call the art scene, in which, well, maybe it doesn't meet their expectations, meaning it's not what they thought it was. Metaphorically speaking, imagine the black cat enters the museum, and what do they find? Cat food, places to climb, something wonderful, a forest, No. Well, they'd find works by local artists that aren't bad, but it's perhaps not what the cat wanted to achieve or thought they'd find inside that museum. Finally, our beloved protagonist, the black cat, dies without being able to get in, which is what happens to many contemporary artists. They die trying, or they get tired, or they quit, or they simply pass away, right? They spend their whole lives fighting to get in there, and in the end, they don't make it. They don't make it. The final metaphor of it all is, what happened to that black cat, to Ken-Chan? What happened? What happened? Well, they made tote bags, they made figures, they made calendars. They're even going to put a sculpture of him in the museum. And how could we translate this to the art world? Well, many artists who have tried to enter that circuit, when they've died, they've said, hey, but he was great. I mean, Van Gogh was a marvel. Hey, but in life, you didn't buy from him. You bought very few paintings. You didn't help him. No, but Van Gogh is wonderful. Or, for example, regarding Toulouse-Lautrec, you know that right after Toulouse-Lautrec died, they tried to donate his work to the Louvre, and the Louvre said, no, we don't want this work. That is to say that Ken-Chan the cat didn't just do a performance for 7 years by trying to enter a museum. Ken-Chan was a social critic. He made a brutal critique of the art scene, which he managed to charm with his tenacity and his personality. And in the end, the art world, once he had passed away, sadly, to be honest, exalted him. Put him at the very top, and he's going to have, as I said, a sculpture that you can visit and take a selfie with if you want. If you're... And definitely, what is the conclusion of all this? Well, if you're a cat, they're never going to let you into a museum. And that's it. That's all. Now, don't think there's a deeper conclusion and more or unless what it means to be a cat. Are you a cat? Are you a cat? Are you a cat? We don't know. I am a cat. What I can help you with is if you want to learn to draw, paint, or sell your art online. In that case, you have my online academy. I'll leave it here for you. Check out the courses. If one fits, if you're interested, then do it, because you'll see they're great. And if you want me to keep making videos like this, subscribe, share it. You can help me from here. Smash the like button, and I'll see you very soon.